Real life, real stories. Let's see what's trending in Indianapolis. This is Paul Poteet on The Edge.
What is that?
It's an iPhone. Have you seen these things? It's amazing. It's like having a computer in your hand.
Jeez. You're supposed to have it lit, though. It's supposed to be the light that you do that with. It was very quick.
I know. I was looking. See, folks, this is a professional production, and we have to. So I was turning on my timer.
Hi, Paul Poteet. How are you?
I have, like Brittany, I have an iPhone 3 here. I'm very tight with the money. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. It's just you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's just you and me today.
Where did everybody go?
Well, it's the end of the year and I kicked everyone out. It's my show now.
It's funny. It's exactly all media is the same this time of year where, instead of the two anchors you might normally see, you see just one. Sometimes you don't even, know the people you're seeing because they're from different shifts. So I'm totally at home with this crazy setup. I like the way that we're swapping things out.
Good. Let's do it then.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm just, Aaron's okay, right?
Yes, he's fine. He's just a little bit under the weather, and he sounds like a demon maybe took over his body a little bit, but he's fine.
Another demon, you mean, took over his body?
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly.
That's for you, Aaron, as you're watching. Well, it doesn't matter to me. I still went out and found you 3 bizarre stories from The Edge. I mean, if you're interested.
I totally am. Let's hear all about it.
First of all, let me practice my speech that I often give to people at the airport when I'm handing them flowers and tracts. Do you know where you're going to spend your afterlife, Brittany?
I have an inkling, but, there's still plenty of time, so we'll see.
So do I, but now I'm wondering if I'm really doing everything that I need to do, because I found a site based out of Seattle that guarantees eternally good coffee. No, even though it's based out of Seattle, they are going to reserve a spot for you in heaven.
Oh.
And you know the name of the website?
Reserve a spot in heaven.com.
Naturally. There you are at the pearly gates. If the world is going to end soon, are you religious, an atheist? This site says, I'm very careful to insert those words, it doesn't matter. Cover your bases with some earthly insurance. Well, Brittany, we buy home insurance, auto insurance. Just think of this as a different kind of life insurance. This is afterlife insurance.
Now, is it like a seat? Are you getting a seat? Are you getting like a bunk? What kind of space are we getting?
Is it reserved seating, or is it like that Southwest thing, where it's festival seating? General. Yeah, is there a 100% money back guarantee? Well, the company says that they sell what they call travel kits, complete with, to extend the travel metaphor, boarding passes. That'd be awesome if you get up to heaven. I thought I had the paperwork. It must be in my other pockets. You get boarding passes, certificates, and what they call Heaven 101 booklets.
Oh.
Frequently asked questions that offer the chance to enjoy your sin-filled life without consequence while lowering, quote, the risk of eternal damnation. Now, the story that I originally read this on, you'll be glad to know, helpfully included the last sentence: the kits are intended to be gag gifts.
Oh, well, thank goodness.
And by the way, I didn't say it in the original story, but $15 is the cost. Not that I checked or anything.
Ding!
Let's just say, I'm okay. And while we're talking religion, next time we'll move on to politics, but we have 2 kind of vaguely, religious connected stories. We've all been, I'm sure, at a church, with kids doing something, as part of a pageant or whatever, where something isn't quite right. And that could be the best thing of all, of course, because then, people get the chance to laugh and you don't feel guilty about it or anything. Imagine being at a nativity at a church where somebody makes off with baby Jesus. In this case, it's a Tennessee church's preschool nativity play, and thank goodness we've got video.
Oh, it's so cute. I've seen this a million times. It just never gets old.
It's a 2-year-old sheep. One of the members of the tableau is a 2-year-old, and the sheep kidnaps the baby Jesus from the manger. her daughter was playing the role, the lady who took the video. So Tegan is her name.
That's
Tegan
a cute name.
grabs the baby out of the manger and doesn't just grab the baby, which I think we're going to see here in just a few moments. Tegan isn't happy with that. There's no editing software on Tegan's mom's camera. Okay, she's going to.
There, she's interested.
There she is. She's interested in the baby. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna. Time out. I'm taking. And the dancing begins.
I mean, who among us wouldn't want to dance with baby Jesus? I know that's on my to-do list.
That's right. Well, if you reserve a spot in heaven,
Well,
Doc,
and I have, and I will.
maybe someday. So she takes baby Jesus and begins to dance with it, which sparked a wave of uncontrollable laughter throughout the crowd. Her mom said she just really wanted that baby Jesus. Tegan loves being the center of attention, so the more people laughed, you know how this goes with kids sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
The hardest thing I've remembered now with grandkids is sometimes when you have to yell at them or be stern with them, but you're going like this.
Yeah, you're fighting, not high-fiving them or laughing at them. Yeah,
that is hilarious. Don't do that again, kind of thing. So I'm sure that maybe is the speech that Tegan got. So
well, I'm sure Tegan has a spot in heaven.
Yeah, there you go. All dogs and sheep in this scene. I think we can all agree with that, can't we? All right, this is heaven for fast food enthusiasts. Now, are you much of an Arby's fan? You're probably out of the demographic on this one.
I have not eaten at an Arby's in probably over a decade.
Wow. Well, you're kind of like their commercials. I heard they have these radio commercials where they say, they have that big voice guy that they have on their TV spots, and he says something about, we've been around with roast beef, blah, 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 since the early 60s, and we introduced the beef and cheddar in the late 70s, and then for like a decade and a half, we didn't do anything. And then they talk about what they're doing now, because it seems like they have a lot more marketing, juice than what they used to have. Maybe it's horsey sauce. Maybe it's not juice. But anyway, Arby's is test marketing this. The Arbynator. It was spotted on menus in Michigan, in Holland, Michigan, on December 7th. This massive sandwich contains, and I quote, all of Arby's legendary menu items and sauces on a single sandwich.
That is vile.
It is intimidating, isn't it?
How do you consume that? How does one tackle that?
I think I have a pretty big mouth, but I know there's no way you'd have to
deconstruct it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and you'd have to get like sideways or something, wouldn't you?
You would need like a fork and a knife. You would need.
Oh yeah, I think I would.
Definitely a bib of some sort.
It's only going to look like that for a few seconds when they bring it out to you. It's got the roast beef. It's got your curly fries. It's got your cheddar sauce, Arby's sauce, and horsey sauce.
Oh man, I do remember how good Arby's sauce was. Like I can think about that and I taste it.
Oh,
I can get there.
Beef and cheddar. Oh, so delicious.
Oh, Arby's.
Well, now, they may tempt you back with this. It's all on a sesame seed bun.
Is it like $97?
I did not, unlike the Getting Into Heaven, I did not check the price of the Arbynator. So, it comes in different sizes, so I guess it depends on the size. Classic, double, and the half pound.
A half pound. Friends, you don't need to eat a half pound sandwich. You just don't.
A half pound. I feel pretty full. Well, sometimes I get a double quarter pounder, so, oh my gosh, that's a half pound, isn't it?
Paul.
McDonald's.
Good thing you're a runner.
I could pound a half pounder. I could take the Arby. I want to control my meat fry distribution.
Yeah.
I don't want it arbitrarily decided for me.
The ratio has to be just right, I imagine.
Yeah, the ratios have to be correct. So Google it or look at our links. The Arbynator.
Interesting.
Christmas cheer
Christmas cheer provided by Arby's.
Ho, ho, ho. In Rudolph, where Mrs. Claus is nagging Santa in the first, few segments of the show, eat, Santa, eat. And they've got that really prickly Santa in Rudolph, who's always in a bad mood. And if he had an Arbynator in front of him, I think he would eat. He would eat.
It's funny.
Yeah. So that is our pre-Christmas list of what's on the edge.
Cool.
And it's weather time. Look at that young lady. There's a white Christmas. Oh, it's like a storybook thing. It comes on Christmas Eve, no less. Well, it might actually start. That's the the fuzzy part is when is it going to start? It's a pretty good bet that there'll be some snow around on Christmas Eve. We know that, and we're definitely going to be colder starting on Saturday.
Yeah, that's cold.
Real cold starting on Christmas Day itself. And as we go to press here with a live stream on Wednesday afternoon, if you put Rudolph here next to me, staring at me with his little beady reindeer eyes, saying, "Mr. Weatherman, what's going to happen?" I'd have to say there's a chance for like an inch or two of snow sometime between Saturday afternoon and late Sunday night. Now I'm going to attach.
It's a Christmas miracle. Baxter is here.
Attach antlers to Baxter and have him.
Baxter.
My sleigh tonight. Yes, it is a Christmas miracle. He hasn't been in here for a
while.
No,
we haven't seen Baxter in a long time. I'm glad he came out.
Yeah, rain on Friday, and then at some point on Saturday, if the cold air gets here early enough where we still have some moisture around, then we're going to change from rain to snow. So we have one window where we could see some snow Saturday afternoon and early evening. Then it'll probably be quiet for a while Saturday night, and then a secondary little impulse is coming through on Christmas Eve, probably mainly in the afternoon and the evening. So we have our best shot that we've had in years. I was looking it up earlier. The last time we even got close to a big snow around Christmas, or any kind of snow around Christmas, was 5 years ago. 2012, we had 7 inches of snow the day after Christmas.
That just makes me want to dry heave.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping the streak would go a little bit longer too. Remember 2 Christmases ago, 51 degrees.
I do remember. That was glorious. So it's going to be drivable though. It shouldn't
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see heavy snow, but I mean, it could be sloppy definitely on Saturday and a little slippery. When it first starts falling on Sunday, and it's probably over with by Monday, but definitely going to be colder next week.
What are your Christmas plans? What do you got in store?
Look at that.
That is beautiful.
Theme tie. I'm going to be doing some work actually on Christmas Eve and a couple of days before that up in Fort Wayne for a TV station there, in case anybody happens to be streaming this in Northeast Indiana on Wayne TV. And then otherwise our family will get together then right after that on Christmas Eve in the evening, and I'll see the grandkids on the Christmas Day.
Good. Excellent.
One son is coming up from Bloomington on Christmas Eve in the morning, and then the 3 of us will join our other son and my daughter-in-law, and then the 2 boys on Monday afternoon.
I saw your big family picture the other day, and it was very, very cute.
I know, that was on Thanksgiving.
Cute as a button, all of them.
Oh my gosh, they are too much fun. So yeah it's kind of nice to have littler kids around again at Christmas time.
Hey, we feel the same way about you around here. It's good to have a Paul around here.
Oh,
a littler kid, Paul.
Man,
the spirit of a little kid, Paul.
Surgery must really be.
You look great. You don't look a day over 8.
T. Merry Christmas.
How do we find you, Paul Poteet?
PaulPoteet.com. Even through the holidays, it's amazing what data-driven robots can do. So even when you think there wouldn't be weather updates, there will be at PaulPoteet.com. And we'll be back with a new episode right after the first of the year.
That's right. That is absolutely right. We will see everyone back on not July. We'll be back before July. January 3rd. Okay.
What do you think this is? France? No.
Well, Merry Christmas. Thank you for being a part of the show. We are very glad to have you, and we will see you in January.
See you then.
All righty.